and materialistic. It just has to go.
Yes. Yes. Well said.
Oh, thank you. I have another question. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there. I wanted to get you to share the most of the time, but I know that you and Barbara Clow are close, and I follow her work very closely. Yeah. And I was wondering if her work on the 9 dimensions might tie into the 9th wave and 9 levels somehow.
Well, it's probably something you would have to ask her about.
Okay.
I have actually gone through her process of, she has a process with the 9 dimensions, and to me that was really an experiential thing. I would not be able, and I don't know if she would be either, to sort of really sort it out intellectually what is happening, because the Mayan calendar system of the 9th wave is really truly a very intellectual system. It can be grasped through the logical mind, but it would have to be asked to her. I could not. Okay. I'm not even sure what a dimension is.
Okay. Well, the next time she comes on the show, I'll do that. I don't want to take up time with a question that doesn't pertain to something that that is your area, and that we're all concerned with now. One of the things that I was wondering is that there's, with this acceleration of 20 times the frequency every 18 to 20 days, I guess it is.
18,
is that going to be similar to a carousel ride, where it starts out slowly and you're on the horses and it's spinning around, and then it goes faster and faster, and then you get off the horse and start moving towards the center, and you're just literally spinning around, and the people at the end are getting thrown off the carousel. Will many people choose to leave the planet, kind of like, they can't deal with these frequencies, I'm going to take myself out? And what happens to the bad guys, the ones that have no conscience, that have been reaping so much destruction on the planet? Are they equally involved in this wave, or those are things that I'm just wondering about?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, and certainly I cannot give any certain answer from the Mayan calendar, but I think there's many in the monotheistic religions. There is the concept of a judgment day. And the same, if you go to the Hopi prophecy, they don't use that word. They say the great purification, which is now. This is the 9th wave. And now, is it possible? The question is really, is it possible for everyone to sort of align with these new energies and ride them and sort of? Well, I cannot tell. I just consider it very unlikely that everyone will. I think it is that many people actually will be thrown off the carousel as you. That's my guess. If I were to guess honestly, I would think the majority of people will be doing that. But I don't know that at all. Yeah. And it's just a suspicion. It just seems so many people are so entrenched in their old ways, maybe so unable to connect with the energies of the divine that are coming in, not knowing, it start to cultivate a new way of being in this short period of time. If they've had no openness to it previously, it sounds very difficult. So that is my guess would be no, that it is probably like many people will not be able to spin as a carousel in this way.
Okay, well that makes sense to me. those of us who are aligning with this energy, what are, and I consider it kind of an interplane takeoff, that the outside is the metaphor, and even we ourselves as bodies and beings or individual fragments of consciousness are living metaphors for something else. But how can we align more closely? What are some of the qualities that we need to really shift into to really empower ourselves and other people and move out of this fragmentation that we're so accustomed to and move into the vastness of, collective consciousness?
Yes. So I think the answer to that is partly individual and partly collective. And what we are doing today is to create a series of events, global events, that are to serve for collectively bringing people together in this process. The website for this is called treeoflifecelebration.com. And I can tell you the outline as it stands right now, which is that we will have global events taking place on the midpoint of the peaks in this wave. And so we've already passed the first day, which is the first peak. And the event we had just to start it was an event where in collaboration with a group called Do As One, where everyone was breathing together. And it's a very basic way of sort of connecting with people. Now, what will happen at the midpoint of the second day, which happens April 23rd, 24th, is that we'll have another global event day where people will be invited to connect, to call in, and we'll use the most the technology or the internet and so forth. And the theme of that particular event will be healing the relationship to the divine, and it will be led by people from the so-called oneness movement, which is a spiritual movement that is global. And so, but the overall is that theme. Now, the third peak, which is May 28th, 29th, will add to that. And the theme will be creating the earth or recreating the earth as a sacred space. And that will include many of the indigenous peoples of the world, so that probably like creating the earth again as a medicine wheel, as the Native American tradition talks about. But many other traditions, they have the idea of the four directions. They're all sacred, all reflecting different impulses, different energies from the divine. And then the next step happens on July 3rd, 4th, and that's the midpoint of the whole ninth wave. And then building on what has been accomplished on these particular points in time, we will then be part of something called the Jerusalem Hug, which is something that, it came out of the beginning was in 2007, when I had called for this global event called the Breakthrough Celebration based on the Mayan calendar. But in this case, what we will do then, I shouldn't say we, it may sound like it's an exclusive group, but what I can do and what other people can do is call for the participation in these events. And but what will happen is that a group of people, maybe a few thousand, maybe much more, will be encircling the old city of Jerusalem, holding hands, and just pouring love into this center of divisions that it's been for a long time. It's like Jerusalem is it's the Berlin of the religions, if you like.
Yes,
And but then, together with these people that maybe have the opportunity to go to Jerusalem, what was created, this global medicine wheel, this sacred space that came out of the previous wave, will then be there as a backup. So, wherever you are, you can create your own circle, and you can all focus on this unity that we want to experience and pour into all over the world, basically, but with a special focus on this location, which is it's been one of the most intransigent conflict points in the world for decades or centuries. And so these are events in 3 steps. And I don't think that, what shall I say, for the individual in this time, we will also have to find these ways of sort of working with ourselves individually in order to be able to leave the past, or be able to let go, and all the psychological work we may need to do that, as well as to find the tools to get the guidance from the divine, as we talked about earlier. And when it comes to these things, I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to say this is the right way, but these things are out there. I mean, they are absolutely out there. It's just a matter that we should just accept the fact that now things are so changing that we will have to adjust ourselves. We'll have to work through whatever blocks us from participating as individuals in this wave. And then what I'll be doing together with many others is to then continue to work with global